Hello everyone, my name is Mille and welcome back to another Season Max video. The series where I go more in depth on the various cars of the season, giving some info on the cars to get the car fanatic out of you, showing some great AR details so you can show them off to your friends and crewmates, and give you the max tunes to know what to expect from them. And on top of that, for the Prestige car I will include a Stage 5 tune, which for this season should be enough to beat the Prestige Cup with. For today I will be covering the Honda NSX with the Aimgain GT kit, the Mini Cooper John Works GP, the M8 competition, and the Rocket Bunny Fairlady Z, which by the way is now in the top 5 fastest tier 4 cars and the fastest freely obtainable non-elite car. Timestamp for each can be found down below if you want to skip to certain parts. Before I start, 2 disclaimers like usual. These are not record times. There might be faster videos out there, but if a record already exists, I try to get within 10,000ths of a second, where possible, using that record tune. If no record exists, I try to set a certain benchmark. The second thing I would like to mention is a thank you to Natural Motion for providing me the cars and the items on my dummy account, which makes this video possible. So, we got the intro done. If you're watching this on TV or computer, take out your device and look with me for some of these details. To kick things off, the Honda NSX running the Aimgain GT kit, and more specific, the slightly toned down milestone spec, as that is the one most of us will get by the end of the season. And what I wanted to do here to start off is to make a comparison between the Liberty Walk NSX and the Aimgain, as at first thought some people might think this is a reskin of some sort. But there are many changes all around. The main difference between the Liberty Walk, which costs 37,000 and the Aimgain costing 45,000, is that Liberty Walk has fender flares riveted on top of the body and with the body cut out, while Aimgain has replaced panels at the front and the back by wider carbon fiber panels, allowing it to have vents at the front and some intakes in the rear. Compared to the stock version, the rear is now 80mm wider and the front 50mm, which doesn't sound like much, but on screen it's a big difference. Some other changes are the carbon roof and the fact that this NSX has the carbon option, which can be recognized by the carbon on top of the engine bay and on the driver's console. And as for the rims, this here is running Aimgain's in-house rims, which come in a dual tone for the milestone spec only. Something quite interesting here is in the past few seasons we've seen more and more additions of purely Japanese brands in the game, like for example Varis with race rims, now this with Aimgain, the Advent tires on the i8 Liberty Walk by Yokohama, and soon coming up the Gazoo Racing Supra. It seems like Natural Motion is managing to get more and more Japanese only brands into the game, and imagine if this would mix with Elite Customs and create customization to a level of body kits. That would be a massive game changer, and to me it seems less and less to be a shocker if it would come true. Back to this car now. Why did we get the non-spoiler version? Well, pretty simple I think, a future Evo Cup for a tier 4 car. Back in the 2.9.3 when it dropped, people were able to snoop out the mention of an Evo version of this car, and when googling information on the Aimgain GT NSX, I actually encountered accidentally a model on GameModels.ru of a season spec, but with yellow headlights, without stickers, with a different two-tone rim, and without a season price color scheme, and it's mentioned that it has been extracted from CSR. So either this is a heavily modified version, or this could well be the future Evo Cup spec that we just cannot find in the game. If this is the Evo Cup reward, I'm looking forward to it for sure. This time I don't really have any favorite bits as it's mostly a body kit, but if I would have to make a top pick, I think it would either be the diffuser, like the details and the exhaust on it, or the engine bay itself, because that one is also super detailed. As for performance, in-game it should be faster than the Liberty Walk NSX because it has that GT look, but on my best attempt it does still come a bit short, stranding on a 10.5 dead. But this could potentially be improved once people find the trick tunes. But anyways, this was my tune and my best run. Next up is the Prestige car, the fastest tier 2 in-game, making its debut on the digital scene, the Mini Cooper John Works GP. And coming in with a bang, straight up dethroning the Boxster from its 3-year-long reign as a non-elite car. In case your car still has an extremely broken pattern, please check for an update to fix this error. Before I start, a small correction from my season video, it's not a 3-cylinder, but a 4-cylinder, putting out 306 horsepower, allowing it to become the fastest Mini Cooper ever built, reaching 265 km/h. In-game there are only 5 specs available, and all of them have a different completely pattern combination, which doesn't only change the main colors, but also the liveries and even the badge on the front of the car. Straight onto the details, and the biggest one has to be these crazy unique flares on both the front and the back, which seem to be made out of a carbon composite, but somehow they seem to hang loose in some way as well. Only if you go to the side you can see the way they're attached to the body, seemingly creating air channels as well to direct it around the car. The number you see here on the front fender will be different for any of the 3000 produced models, as it will most likely carry the production number, and the same good count for the stitching that can be found on the inside on the dashboard. Other than that, the interior does give the original Mini Cooper vibes, with a big round console in the middle and the LED strip around it, with the dashboard having a compact but nice fully detailed digital layout. Other than that, we see a nice texture and pattern on the seats, but the rear seats are removed and replaced with a bar, to make the structure stronger for when it's time to hit the track. And when doing so, you can imagine the engine will need loads of cooling in such a compact area. When putting up the brightness in AR and zooming to the front bumper, we can see the intercooler in the middle through the grille, with then on each side what seems to be an oil cooler or extra radiator. And then one other item we cannot miss is the big unique spoiler on the back. Probably one of the coolest hatchback spoiler designs I've seen in a long time, with the roof just flowing straight into the bottom part. And on top of that, the cleanliness of a one-piece spoiler that isn't just a lip or a ducktail is just so satisfying to look at. Now some of my favorite details on the car, and to start off, one of the things I was sad about we didn't have on the regular Mini Cooper, the Union Jack rear lights. I don't think that anyone else rather than Mini Cooper could pull this off in this fashion. Then going to the side we have the fuel cap, which has a special cutout from the fender flare just to access it, which is kinda funny. But my favorite detail is the old-fashioned Cooper logo being printed on the brakes, giving it a bit of a vintage vibe, which I really like. And then going completely to the front, when the hood opens, the hood is cut out from the headlights. This is such a special feature I don't think I've ever seen on any other car, and I didn't even know this was also the case on the regular Mini Cooper. It's just such a fun gimmick. Now back to gameplay then. Now Mini has a tier 2 car. There is only one manufacturer in tier 1 which has epic fusion parts, but not a car to install them to, and that is Abarth. So it seems like they're slowly getting there, trying to get higher tier cars for example Toyota with the Supra and Hyundai with the Arc Veloster. So what could Abarth be? Which one would you prefer, the Biposto 695 or the Spider 124? I will put a poll up there on the top and let me know what you'd like to see. Performance wise, like I said earlier, this is the fastest pull and upgrade car in tier 2. And with that I mean not counting in a level 50 elite customs cars, as those the times are unclear yet. The pattern on the other hand is quite hard to match. The current record stands on a low 8.41, but I was able to only get it down to an 8.434. Here is the tune and my best attempt. Shifting upon start is the clue here. For the stage 5 tune then, this one could help you if you're stuck with the Prestige Cup, but I would doubt that as the most of you will have 2 stage 6 spots already by this point and you will have already beaten it. In case you need some uncommon or rare parts, you can also buy and strip tier 1 minis, but keep in mind those do not reward epic fusion parts. Here is a tune and my best run on stage 5, hitting a low 9.3. Now events time, and we had two for this season. First, the Rocket Bunny Fairlady Z, which is an amazing car to have in game. The kit gives this car again a completely different look, with the vents on the side making it look like a fish with gills. If you were to own a 350Z and you would want to change it into something like this, it would set you back roughly $4,000 US. So it's time, boys, get out there, find a cheap 350Z and put this on it. One of the things that actually make a car like this stick out a bit more is the stickers on the side. And fun fact here, you see two brands for rims, despite only having one installed. You have Work, which is the correct one, but then you also have 6666, which is the in-house Rocket Bunny brand, and the rims you see on the majority of the Rocket Bunny renders, like here and here. I thought it was kind of funny to have the 666 brand on it, despite having Work installed. Another small fun fact is that the model you see here is most likely based on a Fairlady Z from Tokyo Drift, and this can be seen according to one or two elements. You still have the nitrous buttons on the steering wheel and the nitrous bottle in the back, like any other Fast and Furious car, but then I realized I didn't even know there was nitrous in Tokyo Drift, with the exception of the scene where Sean got to drive Hunt's car on the highway. Now onto my favorite bits, and there are three. The most obvious one is the external oil cooler hooked up to the front bumper. This is a trend which I just cannot dislike. It's like a custom water loop in a computer. It's clean and looks sophisticated. The second item is the blue burnt exhaust tips, giving it a nice touch. But the detail which made me go wow the most in there, that probably no one even noticed, is the way the license plate is fitted. As an American license plate is a bit taller, they had to place something in a way to tilt the license plate so it could fit in there. If you did not know this and you're still watching this video at this point, just type down below tilted in the comments below. Thank you. So that's it for the details on this orange fish. I think I'd take this Rocket Bunny kit over the Wheelside kit any day. Performance wise, fastest free to get, non-elite tier 4 car, and in the top 5 overall, so not bad at all. So a car definitely worth going for. Racket stands on a 10.033, my best attempt was a 10.040. Tune and run. Now onto the final one for today, a bit shorter as this event already passed, the M8 competition. At first I wasn't planning on putting it into the video, but then some small details could be found and I just had to put it in here. The main differences on the outside between the M8 and the competition package are the blackening of the badges, the contours of the grills and such. But other than that, the competition from the outside does not look that different, with the exception of the M8 competition exclusive two-tone rims, which in real life are a bit more noticeable to be a two-tone than in game. Other than that, the carbon parts here and there to reduce some weight, but nothing major. Onto my favorite 4 bits, the first item has to be the engine cover. This one has a nice competition colors on it, distinguishing itself from the regular M8. And these colors can also be found on the stitches of the steering wheel. Yes, the stitches. One of my 2 other favorite bits on this car as far as the interior goes are the stitching again on the seat, but also the color choice of the grey contrasting with the leather, putting out the luxury BMW is known for. And then finally the icing on the cake, the pattern of the speakers all around the car. It's a piece of art, that is. Back to the exterior again, the final bit of the car has to be the headlights. BMW is known for its laser technique headlights, but when closing up, you can really see the details in there, with nice blue touch with the laser name tag in it. The details are crazy on this, which is what distinguishes this game from any other out there, and that on mobile. As for performance, like in real life, this is the fastest BMW out there, and this one dipping under 8 seconds. Current record stands on a 7.962, but my best shot was a 7.969. Tune and run. So that is it for today. Again, loads of information to share with your friends and crewmates, or even things to show to your car friends that just might get them into the game, because the attention to detail is just so great. If you enjoyed the video, do not hesitate to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this. My name is Mille, stay safe, see you around, and keep racing.